Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Pokemon Yellow Randomized Nuzlocke. Today we have a bit of a slog. Not gonna, you know, toot my own horn, and if I can't toot my own horn. We are getting through Dark Cave, which I've already gotten my encounter in here. So today is purely gathering items, battling trainers. That's gonna be most of this session. I might look at near the end of the session getting one of the encounters and one of the routes we haven't yet gotten an encounter from, just to give a little bit of a reward to those who stick around. But needless to say, this is gonna be a longer episode. Let's get into this thing as quickly as we can, because we got a lot to get through, because this is a big cave. I don't know it by heart. We have Flash, which will make it a little bit easier. We don't have Repels. So we're just walking. And yeah, I don't know this cave, so there's gonna be dead ends. There's gonna be lots of stuff that not exactly favorable for us. And of course we got Jinx up here, because we need some levels on Jinx. Jinx learns Ice Punch at 31, so we definitely need the experience on Jinx. All these wild encounters, no repels. Give me some experience, Pokemaniac. A Charmander, man. Why do you gotta have a fire type for my ice type right off the bat? Let's go, Patrick. Rage. And then crap. Stay here. You missed. Okay, so just that's fine. It's kind of hiccuping, which is a little annoying, but I don't know that there's a way to fix that for me without, like, completely just starting over, which I don't really want to do, so hopefully we're all just good taking the shots as they roll along. So it's putting a little thought into this series. I'd really like to do a Nuzlocke in every generation. Still haven't figured out how to get 3DS and Switch games randomized. Not saying we're not going to do those, just that I know how to do everything to the first 5 gens, so this will give me plenty of time to figure out the later gens. But I think then we're going to do... I think we're going to be doing all of the... I was trying to think if I wanted to do the 3rd game or the mainline games, and I came to the conclusion that we're doing yellow here because yellow is just better than red and blue. And then we're gonna do oops. We're gonna do Crystal for Gen 2 because I think Crystal's the better game. A little bit more story, night and day cycle, a few things that make Crystal better. In this game, the graphics, the sprites, makes yellow better than red and blue. And then Gen 3, I'm actually gonna do Sapphire. And hold on before you roast me. This is based purely on the champion choice at the end of the game. In Ruby and Sapphire, the champion is Steven, which is just an amazing champion. In Emerald, it's Wallace, which means not only do you have to fight a solo water gym leader, you have to fight a solo water champion. And I never got behind Wallace as champion, and I know I've never played Emerald all the way through, but part of it is because of that. I didn't even say you sent me again. I can send it, it's fine. Part of that is just because I don't like the idea of Wallace as a champion. It is cool in Emerald that you get to fight both Magma and Aqua. It's not just one that you're stuck with the whole game. And you do get Rayquaza as a legendary in that game, which is a pretty cool legendary. The only issue is they hadn't really fixed Flying or Dragon at that point, so Rayquaza's not better. I don't think Rayquaza in Gen 3 is better than Kyogre or Groudon. So in Gen 3 we'll be doing Sapphire because Sapphire was the original Gen 3 game that I played through. So that was the reason for that. Gen 4 we will be playing Platinum. Gen 5 we'll be doing Black and Black 2. The reason being is I owned and played White and White 2. I never played Black and Black 2, so and we will be doing both of them because they are technically different games with different stories. A lot of people don't like to remember that specific factoid about Gen 5, but most gens got away with the third game because it was a massive improvement, sometimes massive improvement over the base duo. Gen 5 wasn't at first all that popular anyway. It's honestly when I stopped playing Pokemon was Gen 5, and it was because I found out that there was going to be no Gen 1, 2, 3, 4 available through the majority of the game. And it's right. Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4 aren't naturally available in Black and White until the post-game. And even then, White gives you a much easier access to which is why I eventually got White. It gives you much easier access to Gen 1 through 4 Pokemon than Black did. But basically, I had a friend tell me that Black 2 and White 2 are just amazing games, but you need to play Black and White in order to get the full experience of them. Probably safe it doesn't. I know poison move though. Um, so yeah, that's the and so I was like, all right, cool. I want to play the sequel games because I heard they have a good story and they do bring back the Gen 1 through 4 mons. But I also wanted to actually beat the initial game of Gen 5 because I had never done it. So what I ended up doing was buying both White 2 and White together. Well, I already had White because I got it right after I got X and Y. I just never played. I was never able to muscle my way through it. And then I went out and bought White 2, then sat down and muscled my way through White, and actually enjoyed it. Honestly, it was kind of refreshing at the time because I had gotten back into Pokemon with X and Y and with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and I was ready to see what Gen 5, because I actually came to adore some of the Gen 5 Pokemon in later games. Chandelure, I remember using, and so, I didn't realize we leveled up. It's fine. Yeah, Chandelure I ended up loving, and I liked Seismitoad, and I liked Samurott. I know a lot of people don't like the Gen 5 starters. I did like Samurott. I did like Superior. Wasn't a huge fan of Emboar, but that was mainly due to typing. I didn't like the fact that Fire had gotten 3 straight fire fightings in Blaziken, Infernape, and then Emboar. I was just like done with firefighting as a type. It's part of the reason actually my least favorite starter type is fire, because I like Charizard's cool, but it's overhyped. Cyndaquil is a really good fire starter. I liked Torchic. I believe that Torchic was the second choice, my second run, because I did multiple runs. I did a run with every starter in every gen. I think that was Ivysaur. I did a run with every starter in every gen, and I did like my Torchic run. But then Diamond and Pearl came out with Infernape, and I thought Infernape was overrated. I thought Infernape was... I didn't like it. It was another firefighting, and it was very, very popular. And so, and when I used it, it was unfortunately overpowered, at least compared to the other two. Like, Empoleon and Totera are both fun, but Infernape was obviously the best of the three. It beat both of the other two. And, like, that was the first time that had ever happened, because Charizard loses to Blastoise in, like, any fight with just straight-up evolution line, like, not including TMs or anything like that. And then Venusaur beats Blastoise, and Charizard beats Venusaur. Same thing in Gen 2. Meganium should beat Feraligatr. Again, there's an issue with Meganium just being underpowered in general. Feraligatr often wins the fight due to Ice Fang, so it is what it is. And then Typhlosion beats Meganium, and Feraligatr beats Typhlosion. Gen 3, same thing. Sceptile beats Swampert, and for the first time it's squad effective, so it's like Swampert really doesn't have a chance against Sceptile straight up. And then Blaziken beats Sceptile, and Marshstomp walls and beats Blaziken. And like everything was balanced. And then Gen 4 came along, and Empoleon can beat Infernape. I know this because Empoleon was my first starter in Gen 4, and I beat the game, and I didn't really have a huge issue with Infernape. Everyone's 29 except for Minaj doesn't. Okay. The issue came out that it just was like so frustrating that Empoleon technically can just lose to Infernape because of getting outsped close combat, and its defense just isn't good enough. So I should have gone for it. Yeah, so lots of ramblings. But anyway, Gen 5. Gen 5 was the first game where it was actually straight sequels, whereas most of the games just used. I think you get a poison maybe instead. Most of the games just improved upon the base games. Gen 3 didn't, and really wanted to go back and play Gen 5 because I started falling in love with the Mons. So if any of you haven't played Black or White and Black or White 2, highly recommend it. Still in my opinion, one of the greatest straight stories we've ever gotten from Pokemon. I know Pokemon's not known for its storytelling necessarily. Like, take these games for example. There's like story elements, right? There's the Marowak's mother. There's the Marowak's mother. The stuff with Team Rocket. It's all technically story driven. It's a dead end. But realistically, this game is just very, very, very linear in the sense that technically there's a lot of places you can go. It's more or less open world for the time, but it's also very. There's really only one way to go, and going the other ways will build the world, but it doesn't build the story. So, Gen 2 expands upon it a little bit, gets a little bit better with storytelling, especially with Crystal. Crystal's really good, which is why I'm doing Crystal. Which is one of the reasons I am doing Crystal. And then Gen 3 does pretty good with the storytelling. We're going to be siding with Team Magma against Team Aqua, but it's... Again, I don't want to play Emerald. So... I want the final boss to be Steven, because Steven is, in my opinion, just a better champion. You go, Patrick. Like, I'm also... There's a couple of times I did know where I was going in here. I just wanted to look for items, because I felt like there was a lot more items in here than I'm finding. Obviously, I'm not finding any, which is unfortunate, because I thought there was a lot in here. We are kind of storming through this. I think we're about halfway done with the cave. I haven't had any cuts though, so this is just basically just going to be raw footage straight up. And we'll go to Elizabeth for Boomerang. So yeah, I'm trying to just give you guys an idea of where I'm going in my head with the series. Obviously, other things on the channel. My wife and I want to do. We want to do It Takes Two. We did a first video, but then realized that the audio was just terrible, and we kept picking up water bottles and slamming it on the table. We weren't slamming it on the table, but the mic was picking it all up, and it just became somewhat unusable. So we had to scrap the first episode of It Takes Two. We are going to re-record it at some point. We just need to find a night that we're not busy. Pal World, I switched to a competitive series to kind of encourage me to move through it faster, and that'll be live streams whenever both me and my sister are free. And then we also have some ideas to do, like Overcooked, maybe. We will eventually get back to Kingdom Hearts. I know we did a few episodes on here. We will actually eventually get back to Kingdom Hearts. Megan, my wife, has never beaten the series herself. She's watched me play the entire series. She actually got really into watching me. But she has not beaten it herself. We will get back into that. Kingdom Hearts is a tricky series to put on YouTube because there's a lot of copyright claims that just randomly flag your videos. Which, here, let me just go down that rabbit trail real quick. The amount of copyright that goes on YouTube is honestly dumb. Like, straight up. Like, it's like, it doesn't really clearly tell you what, why, when, who. Like, I had one, I think it was episode 6, get a copyright claim for the Pokemon trainer battle music. And I'm like, there's Pokemon trainer battle music in every single video. Why isn't every video getting flagged? And even so, it was only like a 1-minute segment. I'm like, most of the episode was the trainer battle. Why is only this 1-minute segment of this one video getting flagged for this song? And it's in the, again, it's another issue I have is like, it's in the game, right? Like, we have free use to use the game if we've paid for it and put it onto YouTube. So I don't understand how, if we have free use of the game, we can get struck with copyright on a song that's in the game. Same thing goes in my prior channel that I might still use if this channel gets big enough, just for this kind of project, actually. Moving all my solo content over. I had an account called Porygon Pete, and I did a Last of Us race on there. I'm pretty sure both games are entirely on it. But I remember I got frustrated because there's a section where it got a copyright flag for a song that Joel and Ellie listened to on the radio. And I just could not wrap my head around the fact that, like, there's tons of songs in this game, and not all of them are, like, just orchestrated background music. But this one song and this one episode on the radio, like, this just got caught. It's dumb. Completely, in my opinion. Like, I understand artists wanting to protect their work and ensure that they are making money for their work, but like, if you put it out to the world, it's like anything else on the internet. It's not your work if it's been utilized elsewhere. Like, and I know Nintendo is terrible with the copyright stuff anyway. So, like, my issue is, you have released hundreds of thousands, if not millions, if not tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of copies of physical versions of games to the world. As long as somebody goes out and purchases said game, you shouldn't have the ability to sue that person unless they are selling the game. Like, unless they're copying it and selling it, that's piracy. That I totally agree is wrong. But if if they buy your game and then they want to stream themselves playing it and put it on YouTube, that should be 100% okay. It does not matter what the content of the game is. Well, I mean, it matters in the sense of, like, if it's gory, if it has a lot of curse words, obviously if there's sexual content of any kind, like, you have to censor that stuff. But if it's just, there shouldn't be any issue with music use. There shouldn't be any issue with video usage. Because, like, even some games, like, don't let you record certain videos or cutscenes. Like, I know there was an issue with people trying to record straight from their PlayStation the Resident Evil Series 7 and 8 because it blocks all the cutscenes. And it's just so dumb. I mean, like, I don't want to be... I obviously don't want to be, like, the one that... I'm not the one... I'm not that kind of person that's gonna, like, flip a table and, like, break the system down. But I can't wrap... I'm usually pretty good at seeing both sides of an issue, which is why I, like, most of the time, I get that artists want to protect their IPs. They want to protect what they've created, because what they've created is unique. But an artist is getting paid already portions of each game sale because of their music, or they got paid one bulk sum for their music. So the game has the right to utilize the music however they want. And when a person buys the game, they have the right to use the game however they want. So as long as they're not making a whole bunch of extra money off it, because we don't sign a contract with the game developers. The game developers sign a contract with the music artists. So there is an actual, like, warning to the music developer, the artists, that, like, hey, your song is going to be utilized to help this game make sales, help this game make money. And some artists, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that, like, with most contracts involving art and talent, you either sell the right for, like, individual, based on an individual sales basis, so, like, every sale they'll get, like, 5 cents or whatever. It's probably even less than that, because even if they get 10,000 sales, it's like, you know, $5,000 or $500. Yeah, it's $500. It's probably even less than that. It's probably like a penny or two, because they have to do that for every artist. They can't just do that for the main artist. I don't know what to do here, because this Aptos is decently leveled. That's what I was afraid of. Anyway, long rant, long tangent. I just believe that, like, if there is no social contract between a developer and a gamer, right? Like, game developers can technically do whatever they want. My issue comes when it comes to YouTube, and, like, the 1 minute snippet of the Pokemon Battle song got claimed by, like, MCEA, and I'm like, what does that even mean? MCEA dash something. And I was like, who is this? What is this? it didn't make any sense to me, and it still doesn't, because, like, why didn't you copyright claim the rest of it? Why did, a lot of people do videos on these games and don't have any issues, and, or at least, not that I've seen, I'm sure some people have, but, like, why was this instance, that one snippet of that one section of that one video with that one song all of a sudden just wrong? So yeah, it's just, I don't like US copyright law. I don't like copyright law in general. I think the law needs to be that if you sell a physical medium or online a digital medium, because it is so easy for people to I don't know, I guess digital probably needs to be different, but if you sell a physical version, you're selling the rights of that medium to people to utilize, in my opinion. Like, I could buy the song for $1.29, or I could buy the whole album for $17, and I chose to buy the album because it supports you more. And even if you multiply all the songs on it for $1.29 times 12 songs, it doesn't add up to $17 plus tax. So my that's my tirade with copyright. I think it's dumb. Other solo content, I've got, PlayStation 5, I've got Game Pass, I've got Steam and all that stuff. As far as live stream goes, I might just throw up random games, see what sticks. For example, I've got like League of Legends downloaded. I might just throw a stream of that. I'm not good at that game at all, but like, might just throw it up to see if it's popular. I know it's popular, but to see if it's gonna garner any kind of following. I know that live streams have, in general, done better than later posting things. I think the only posted video that I've done that has done decently is Untitled A Goose Game. And again, so we are going to get back to the content with both of us in it, but Megan just started a brand new job, and I'm about to start a new job, so we're trying to get as many of these done as possible so that there's still plenty of content as time progresses. I don't like this. All my Pokemon are a bit beat up. Go to Patrick. He used Thunder. Lapras is bulky and we are close to a Pokemon Center. I didn't think I'd honestly get through that cave that quickly. And I'm also kind of surprised that there was, like, technically very little to no items throughout the entire cave. Stab normal is no fun. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. I need experience on Minaj, because once I get Ice Punch, Minaj will actually be tolerable to level up. Uh-oh. It raises. Okay. We have to do this. Rage is getting more powerful the more I hit it. And it's asleep now. But it won't be forever. forgot all the mechanics of how rage works. Is this an item? Hyper potion? Okay, not bad. I think this is the last trainer, and then we are through Mountain Moon. This is Lavender Town coming up here. And this video is probably not going to be as long as my last video, to be fair. Let's get some XP back, or some HP back. Not that it matters, because there is a town right here, I guess, so I'm just wasting time now, but it's fine. I've enjoyed kind of getting a rant out. Just talking and getting my thoughts out on video. Let me know with a like or a comment, like, what do you think about copyrights? I think they're important because they need to protect artists and their work, but I was like, if you sell a physical copy, you're telling whoever you're selling the physical copy to that, like, hey, you're buying the rights to use this album in your own personal usage, and my personal usage is recording it. So, I'm not directly selling it for money, because I'm not. Because that is illegal. Right? Like, I'm not selling your CD online, I'm not printing it and reselling physical copies of it. Just listening to it. Hearing it. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm sharing it with the world. And, oh, this is the last trainer, okay. And not everyone that, like, shares it, not everyone that hears it online is going to be like, I must go to YouTube and watch this person, because you know, it's like, it's $1.29 for a song, or $12 for an album. Like, it's gonna sell if it's gonna sell. If it's not gonna sell, it's not gonna sell. Should have reflected, because he has a pretty good attack stat and clear to draw my defense. So I'm gonna do that now. We're gonna put Dozen up front, because Dozen is our lowest level right now. Nice, basically 2 levels for everybody going to the cave. Like that. I'm gonna grab the bike out of the PC. Alright, but we have made it. Let's go get an encounter just to, you know, reward those people that have stuck around this whole time. We'll explore Lavender Town, see if we get any items from people or TMs. Name Raider, no thank you. Excuse you. I don't think there's anything in this book. Yep. Alright, let's go get one encounter down here. Fishing. Oops. encounter on this route is Chansey, and I have to go for it, because it's probably because Magikarp's got randomized Chansey. Because I didn't catch the first one. I don't even think I can barrage it, so I just gotta hope that I can catch it off Pokeballs. I could try putting it to sleep. Unfortunately, Chansey is not what we really want. But now we don't have to get one again, because we got this one. So, not a very exciting end, but kind of the knowledge that, like, hey, moving forward, we got lots to do. Because we need to go over to Celadon now, because we can now do, like, the gym over there. There's a lot of trainers in between here and there to grind up on. And then Celadon's fully unlocked to us now. I mean, everything's been fully unlocked, but now it's like levels shouldn't be an issue. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a subscribe, tell me how you feel. Once Nurse Joy is done healing, we will end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye!